All right, and we are back with the final round, round number 4 here at Pioneer at Card Art.
Yep, we had less than 10 minutes actually.
Yeah,
It
actually,
was
so we ended up right in round 4 from the start. So we're gonna head right in right now. So it seems like they already did start the game. So we have Matt Zhu playing Quintorius Combo and Tyler Fox on the red decks when we had on the mono red that we had on earlier in round 1.
Yep, so Mono Red going all the way to the 3-0 round, and then Quintorius Combo, the one that you wanted to see,
Yeah, the one
being
we
the other
see
one.
from the winner of MXP Tacoma last year, playing 4-color Karn Omnath, which is something that not like we're playing at. So it's interesting to see another high-level player playing here today. So it looks like I'm not sure that card is, but it's gonna kill the Lava Spur, Lava Runner.
That is the one that gives +3, -3. It's not Carnival Carnage, it's the other one, but it's the Rakdos modal spell, just killing one of the Gitu Lava Runners. And this is going to be a very interesting matchup because we're going to see the Quintorius combo player kind of do this, where they go land, go, and then try to combo before the mono red player kills them. Like that's basically how it goes. And they do have a little bit of interaction, such as these kind of removal spells with the split cost, so that they kind of skirt around the discover clause that Quintorius is going to be getting through. So just being able to play a 2-mana spell that's actually 8 mana with air quotes, and being able to kind of push through some of those things.
So it looks like Tyler Fox is gonna swing with the Kumala and the Soul Scar Mage. Matt Zhu looks like he might have a response to this. Actually, with the amount of cards in hand, looks like about 3 for Tyler here. So a little bit. I wonder where Matt has in hand that has an answer for this. Oh, actually, we're gonna see Wizard Lightning come out of Tyler here.
Yeah, so Bedeck Bedazzle. It was the Bedeck part of it. I knew it was something along that lines. +3 -3 until end of turn. But then we have the Wizard's Lightning and the Monstrous Rage coming down. So just a ton of damage being thrown across by Tyler's mono red deck here. So Wizard's Lightning was 3 damage. Monstrous Rage is going to be an additional 3 damage total with that token on there. 2 additional spells on the Soul Scar Mage is going to be 3 more damage. So that's 11 altogether coming across.
So looks like the players are talking out the potential, the amount of damage that's coming into Matt. So working it out. So Matt is going to go down to 8 here. Or going down to 8 on turn 3 is pretty quick.
I wonder if they counted the Kumano damage there too. I'm trusting the players on this one, but I thought it was a little bit more. Going down to 8 is a little bit scary. However, this is what's going to happen. The Quintorius deck is now going to get an additional land in play, and then the idea is to play another untapped land and then just slam Quintorius, discover into a clone like Clever Impersonator, and just go. Quintorius going to be, of course, draining for 2 every single time another non-land spell winds up coming into play. So every single time you copy the Quintorius winds up triggering, and then you wind up just kind of going from there.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to gain some life here from the cycle as well, or from the search. So Quintorius is a very interesting card that I even saw like in Modern when a lot of Beanstalk players were trying to play it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but this is a top land and pass coming out here from Matt. So, and I also did misspeak. I said non-creature when it should be from exile instead of non-creature. The non-creature draining is the instant or sorcery from Professor Onyx, which obviously looks very much like actually from the same plane technically.
Yeah, it's the same plane, but
technically, but you know.
I'm not sure if it look the same though. So it looks like we're gonna swing out. Oh, Spikefield Hazard's gonna come out with Tyler here.
So this is 2, 2, 2, so 6, 7 damage altogether.
Bring Matt down to 3, so it isn't being Wizard's Lightning range.
So you might be trying to do something like bait out Bedeck Bedazzle in order to cast a second spell. There's a Monstrous Rage in hand, so whatever gets Bedeck Bedazzled will get +3 -3. But if adding the token, the roll token onto the creature, in addition to the +2, +2/+0, would let it survive because of the prowess trigger. So that would make it a 4 toughness creature before the Bedeck Bedazzle resolves.
So Matt is going to elect to take the 1 damage from the Spikefield Hazard. So here comes the Monstrous Rage.
And this here just might be lethal, but oh,
Ooh.
Trumpeting Carnosaur, the hidden mode of Trumpeting Carnosaur. Tap 3 mana, discard Trumpeting Carnosaur, deal 3 damage. So again, without the 3 damage spell there, at that point in time, the Monstrous Rage could have wound up saving one of those creatures, but Tyler going for the kill, saw blood with that mono red deck, and decided to try to go for it. But now Quintorius gonna do its thing. Here comes Spark Double. It's gonna copy Quintorius. He's gonna be able to minus that one. Winds up finding another clone. Oh, that's actually
Oh, that's not a clone. That's
a release to the wind. So you can kind of exile the card and then get to play it again.
okay. So bring it down to 14 for Tyler here. Matt, so it's going to be actually 12-12 all. So Matt's just gonna pop off. I'm pretty sure he's won the game here,
I
right?
think there is the small chance that you fizzle, but with the double spark double out here, it looks like it's going to just be a deterministic kill, because this is going to be something that ignores the legendary rule. So there's 3 Quintorius, so hitting another spark double or clever impersonator will be lethal.
So Tyler's going down to 2 here. Now Matt's just going back 22. Even if he does
This
pick
is
here,
just
this board
clever
stays too good.
impersonator, any spell, another release to the wind is just lethal off of these Quintorius triggers. And he's even saying, I have exactly 1 clone. He just needs to reveal from the top so the discover triggers happen. This actually gives Tyler a good look at everything that is in the deck.
Matt's debating if he actually has a clone left. There it is. So Quintorius doing what it does best. Go off on turn 5.
Just going off on turn 5. So we had, I believe it's the Raccoon, which is like the cultivate effect or whatever to find the extra spell, which is a channel ability. We had Bedeck Bedazzle, which is a split card so that you have a higher mana cost than 4, because again, Quintorius can just discover 4, and the reason why you are running those specific versions of the clones, Spark Double can copy a planeswalker or a creature, Clever Impersonator winds up coming in and copying a permanent, so you have the ability to copy your Quintorius cans. If you hit Clever Impersonator, the legend rule does still apply, so you have to get rid of the old Quintorius can in order to get the Clever Impersonator into play, but Spark Double doesn't care about that, does come into play with an extra loyalty counter if that matters, but then can still continue the Discover chain, and you wind up with the Spark Doubles in play, killing so much faster because you get multiple copies of Quintorius can. Basically, the only way you can fizzle is by not hitting Spark Double before you have Clever Impersonators, but by the way that Matt was going through his deck there, I am a little more on the side that he doesn't actually have Clever Impersonator, and instead is running that release to the wind as the quote-unquote second clone copy, to being able to target target a Spark Double. Spark Double gets exiled by that, and then its controller is allowed to cast it from exile without paying its mana cost, the same way that you wind up seeing Valky turn into Tybalt from some of the old Dimir lists.
Yeah, so if you're Tyler Fox's side, do you even have prep for a Quintorius combo? That's the real question here.
I mean, if you are mono red, I am assuming that you probably have something along the lines of maybe Damping Spheres, which you're able to kind of bring in against the Lotus Field combo decks and maybe some of the Prowess decks if you're kind of worried about that matchup. The only downside is that the cards from the Quint combo are not being cast off of multicolor, multiple land producing lands. What it does do, however, is tack on 1 extra mana for each of the cards that are going to be cast from exile, because Discover does not put the card into play. Oh, sorry, Discover does put the card into play. Cast the card does not put it into play.
Yeah.
Whereas Cascade puts it on the stack. It's a little bit different, but the Discover mechanic will still make you have to cast that card, which means that it will get the stacking effect from a Damping Sphere, because that triggers on spells cast per turn. So you can't combo off on turn 5, but if you untap with a Quintorius active and then 6 mana on the battlefield, that's usually enough to kill somebody.
Yeah. Well, we just hope to see that Tyler does have the Damping Sphere in the sideboard here. Also, I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm not too sure what match you would even bring into this match. I'm proving it's not going to change much.
I don't think there's a lot that the Quintorius combo deck is going to be putting in. I'm trying to think if there are any other split removal cards that I could see them potentially putting in. I mean, the Quintorius combo deck at some points in time were running some parts of the Virtue cycle just because they have the adventure sorcery side. So Virtue of Pestilence or Persistence, the black one, is a -3/-3 gain 2 life, which could be a very big swing here if we're seeing that card being played from Matt Ju's side. I'd 100% be putting a card like that into this deck. With Karuga the Macro Sage, there are going to be no cards that are 3 or less available, so we're not even going to really be able to see cards under 3. We could still see things like Bone Crusher Giant, but that does disrupt the Quintorius combo, and you really don't want to be putting spells in that stop your combo chain because that could result in you just fizzling out entirely.
So it looks like Tyler Fox go down to 6 here. And Matt's gonna keep it 7, so I'm very happy with his hand. Now, looks like Tyler Fox has a Swift Spear, has a Kumano, has a Soul Scar Mage, and loses Lightning, so it looks like a lot more of a gas hand compared to game number 1.
Oh yeah, this is just like exactly what you want to see as a mono red player. You have land, you have creatures, the lands are not too many, and you have spells.
So, it looks like top lane go for Matsu as thought. So we're gonna play out the Swiss Spear. It's gonna come with a 1/1 counter, so it's gonna be a 2. It's gonna be coming for 2. Bring back down to 17. Now, Tyler misses his land drop, so we're sticking with us 1 mana for quite a while now.
Well, at least you're a mono red deck, so you're not really hurting too bad. As we do see, we're going to have a flip Kamano. We have this Monastery Swift Spear online, and we're not necessarily hurting if we have more 1 mana spells in hand. Gitu Lava Runner for the draw is not going to be great because you're not going to be able to really pump out the spell damage with that card there. But the Quintorius combo deck still has maybe 2 turns to look for lands before it's really 100% online.
Oh, so it looks like Live Station will help dig for the second land drop here. Lava Spike.
That's a land.
Well, these are both lands, so I'm super just gonna play out the den. Leave the lava. I think Lava Spike to next turn, so you can play.
Yep.
Play the Soul Scar Mage. So if next turn the Lava Runner gets haste. Am I correct?
Lava Runner will get haste from the Spikefield Hazard going into the graveyard, which will then deal 1 damage. We have 2 damage from the Lava Runner coming across for 3. Soul Scar Mage will go up to 5 damage total, 7, and then we'll have 1 spell cast for Monastery Swift Spear, so that's 10 damage, which will put the Quintorius player down to 6 next turn. Now, if we do have top deck land, there's also a Wizard's Lightning in Tyler's hand, which will then wind up putting down the Quint player to 1.
Looks like Quintorius is in the hand for Matt Zhu here, so looking for a turn 5 win here would be big. But it looks like Matt should tap 2 and gonna.
There's the Virtue!
Yeah, they kill the Swift Spear here. Go up 2 life to 18. Now actually looks like he's very much just fine.
Yep, I mean, this is basically going to... That Virtue right there buys an entire turn from the Quint combo player. That was representing potentially 5 damage from the Swift Spear alone this turn, which does get a replacement, but it does not have the +1/+1 counter from that flipped Kamano.
So we can deal 1 with the Spikefield. Go down 17. Prowess triggers. Coming out, so it looks like 2, 4, 5, 6?
6 damage all across, so down to 11 here from Matt. But now, Quint player just gets to draw, play another land. If they have any interactive spell here, Tyler's going to be very hard-pressed to put this last little bit of damage together. So again, there's a Wizard's Lightning and a Gitu Lava Runner in hand. So that represents 5 damage right there from those 2 cards in hand. Swift Spear would then be 2 more for 7. 9 with the Soul Scar Mage, and exactly 11 with this Etching of Kumano. And we do see Matt tapping out, going to be just going for the adventure side of Beanstalk Giant, wind up finding a basic land, untaps with 2 mana left.
Ooh,
so
another Swift Spear out of Tyler's hand. So what? You Swift Spear here?
No, you either you probably Swift Spear Wizard's Lightning. Swift Spear represents another haste threat, which will be the same amount of damage that Lava Runner would deal in this place.
So before damage.
And do we have...
Wizard's Lightning comes out. Goes to 8. Ooh! So it looks like a channel. So gain 3
They
life.
do gain 3 life off of that channel in addition to finding a land. So not... It was Xaxes without that spell.
Matt Zhu playing really thin lines here, but it's just enough to get over. It's probably actually punishing win this matchup because what? Quintorius will come on this turn. Tyler's tapped out. Whoever answer might just lose the game here. So go
I
down.
mean, we're going to have to see.
So shows up Quintorius, and that's just
That's it. That's just a...
Matt Zhu wins, going 4-0. Wow. So Quintorius comes out, it just wins.
Quintorius just doing its thing. It hits turn 5, it plays Quintorius Canned, and then it wins the game off of that. So that's what that combo deck can do. I know it's not necessarily something we see all the time because it can be disrupted from, even is it Phoenix running Spell Pierce? It can be disrupted by Thought Seizes, getting rid of Quintorius Can from hand. And if you get rid of too many Quintoriuses from the Quintorius deck, they don't have enough to spell chain anymore. And then like, it's just awkward thing. Sorry, clones for Quintorius, not Quintorius itself. It needs the Quintorius to start the chain, but it only needs one. If you wind up getting rid of any of their clones from their hands, it's usually lights out, especially if Matt's playing the version that doesn't have any clever impersonators. You need the spark doubles and the release to the winds in the deck in order to do that. So the fact that Thoughtseize and those kinds of things could go, that would be something that you know could wind up disrupting this deck. So very fragile, but when the aggro decks came back into play to start fighting the Azorius control decks and the other decks that are a little bit more combo centric, the fact that these channel spells gain life, the fact that these virtues cost like 7 mana and technically have an adventure side so they don't actually get, you know, fizzle your Quintorius combo. This is something that makes this deck a little bit better against those matchups, even if it's not running temporary lockdowns, even if it's not running Settle the Wreckage and spells like that that would disrupt the Discover Flow.